From a business angle, talking about inclusion in the context of socio-technological change, and talking about the social impact. And obviously, socio-technological change these days means artificial intelligence. And this is what we are going to share with you. It's a piece of explorative research that is ongoing, and yeah, let's start with a little historical detour. Imagine descending into a coal mine 100 years ago. Coal mine 100 years ago, 1920s, beginning early last century, it looked like this. And you can imagine from the pictures, those guys working, girls, not really, but guys working in the coal mines, they have built an integrated social system together with a technical system. And now fast forward to today. This is how technology changed. It's the same industry. It's obviously people don't need to go underneath the surface any longer. That's far more productive. That's safer than it ever was. But unintentionally, it has changed the social fabric. And this is what technology is doing. And this is why Karl and myself wanted to explore the potential of silent exclusion, of neurodiversity in the context of artificial intelligence and the impact on communities. Yeah, obviously there's this three-circle model, artificial intelligence, communities, and business organizations, and the interfaces are pretty clear. These days, organizations are very busy talking about productivity when it comes to generative models. It's also very clear that business organizations have in their annual report a certain section about inclusion and SDGs and things like this. Whether they turn it into action or not, it's there. The relationship is pretty clear, but there is an analytical gap in terms of what artificial intelligence is doing to the communities. And this analytical gap is one of three components that determines the social impact. And it might be that these days the enthusiasm for AI-driven productivity overshadows the awareness of social side effects. And we are using social technical systems theory, but popular to look at these questions from a systems angle. There is a technical system, there is a social system, and they both interact. The relationships between the social system and the technical system are considered as equally important. So this turned into our research model means that there are business organizations that consist of communities, also neurodiverse communities, and these communities consist of individuals. They interact with the technical system, it's artificial intelligence, and the tasks that artificial intelligence is meant to perform. So we are all aware of what artificial intelligence can do. One fact of life is that it is extracting patterns and representations from existing data. And this is how these instruments learn. This is how they are going to perform optimization and improve the system performance. However, they learn from data that are neurotypical. And so it implicitly suggests that norms are inscribed into digital technologies, and that digital technology and their learning procedure really defines what is considered as intelligent and what is considered normal. And yeah, while everybody's talking about the productivity effects, there might be unintended consequences to this. And that might be that neurotypical standards dominate and leave little room for neurodiversity. And what I just shared with you, the coal mining example, this change took almost a century to happen. And if I ask you, did you use ChatGPT 3 years ago? No, you did not. Do you use it today? Did you use it today? Yes. We all do. That simply illustrates how fast this change and this socio-technological change is happening. So this is worth some reflection.
Definitely. And I don't know if you guys can hear me already. Nowadays on. Yeah, thank you, Stefan, for introducing me as well. So just again, Karl, Alberty, and I think as every new business venture or startup nowadays, I think we first have to talk about AI and basically what is the status quo in how AI interacts with us and how AI actually works. And in many systems like recruitment tools or e-learning platforms, written accuracy and certain communication styles are taken as indicators of actual competence. And why does AI do this and how does AI work? AI does not create information out of nowhere. It analyzes the data and it builds a new system. And therefore AI reinforces these norms, as Stefan already mentioned, and it can create communication barriers for people, which I mainly concentrated on, or we did, for example, with dyslexia. Therefore, AI unintentionally standardizes cognitive norms because it's not a human being. It simply looks at what worked, apparently best before, and from there, from the information it's fed. Language models mark typical dyslexic patterns, such as phonetic spelling or letter reversals, as errors. So in this way, AI risks becoming a gatekeeper of what counts as normal cognition, which is highly relevant for organizations today. So from this idea we had and the subject we explored, we came to our main research question, and this is, do AI-driven solutions contribute to removal of workplace barriers in business organizations for individuals with dyslexia? And as mentioned, this question guided the entire study up to now and will in future as well. So let's talk about the methodology, of course, and the approach. I used a qualitative research design, conducted 5 expert interviews from HR, coaching, recruiting, and neuro-inclusion. All interviews were transcribed and analyzed using a combined deductive and inductive coding approach. This produced a structured coding tree with 4 major areas. The first one being workplace barriers, so identifying which workplace barriers actually exist. The second one, therefore, then being the skill challenges, so what do people with dyslexia actually have as a challenge in the workplace? The AI-driven solutions, which we already have, such as ChatGPT, voice to text, etc., but also the limitations of these tools and how they're used at the moment. And then finally, the inclusion conditions. So the individual support, how can I, as a, for example, dyslexic individual, use these to then actually have a level playing field within the business world. The key findings which we have until now clearly show, and I think already also were partially mentioned or mainly mentioned in the great presentations before, and the workplace barriers often are clearly, the findings clearly show that the issue is not the people, but the workplace
designed around neurotypical norms. Leaders often misinterpret dyslexic individuals. Emotional barriers such as shame and masking, meaning constantly hiding one's struggle. Many individuals compensate extensively, which can lead to exhaustion, and written communication also remains a persistent challenge. In short, the workplace is a mismatch, not the people, and the mismatch affects participation, confidence, and well-being.
Exactly. Thank you. Does it work? Okay. So yeah, also a barrier removing tool. However, there are access problems, there are costs, there are security limitations. The IT administration doesn't really want to do what is necessary, and the employers are feared, and this is all slowing adoption. So AI can remove barriers, and organizational cultures create them. And the inclusion conditions are very much about the leadership. So leadership really can unlock exclusions and create the culture and remove the barriers that it needs to meaningfully implement AI systems in business organizations. Which basically means that inclusion in its essence is a leadership outcome. Technology itself cannot change anything for neurodiverse persons. Technology is just a tool that leadership needs to use to bring it over the finishing line. This is what our qualitative data of this exploratory study suggests. So we reapply our socio-technological model and see that it is useful because the results of our survey really connect to the model, and leadership can unlock the inclusion, not the technology as such. And obviously, it needs a more diversity-centric design of artificial intelligence systems with technological initiatives and organizational initiatives on different levels. And this really means that it doesn't have to be like that. The social fabric can be maintained, and artificial intelligence, if done appropriately, can really lead the way towards inclusion. We are going to continue this research with a sample of social entrepreneurship companies. It's ongoing right now. It's again on an explorative level before we move to a quantitative stage. But the discussion is very much about there is a promise and there's a reality. And the reality is that invisible exclusion through a design bias is happening. There's no evidence that it's not happening, at the least. And technological inclusion does not mean cognitive inclusion. So what should business leader, why should the business leader care immediately? What concrete action should leaders take to prevent AI from reinforcing exclusion? And we are going to follow up the question about the cost of this silence exclusion. There are many numbers. There are helpful case studies here today that we can also integrate in our thinking. Thank you very much for having us here. I hope you found this interesting, and
and also just as a combining all of this together, which we can say on a more of a moral aspect of AI, we think AI therefore can be a key, which does not solve the aspect, it does not make us better than others, but it can even out the playing ground. And our main task has to be to form this key that fits into the log, which therefore unlocks the full potential of people who are in the neurodiverse space.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stefan and Karl.